I'm all a tangle. Kidding. This guy's pre-lit, so goodbye, strand lights. Hi there, and welcome back to Real Hair Crimes, exclusively on the Babe Hair Extensions YouTube channel. As always, I am your host, Courtney, and I am here to give you more fun, real hair crimes. So if your hair extensions are all a tangle, you may want to pay attention to this story. This one's for you. So this story came to me because I was slightly involved in this. And I'll tell you how in just a moment. But first, please leave us a comment. We have really exciting things. I'm so stoked. And I may just give you a sneak peek next time because I'm so excited about it. So we do have a giveaway coming. So please make sure you're dropping a comment in here. Tell me what you love most about Real Hair Crimes and what you want to hear next. So drop that in the comments and you'll be entered to get a giveaway. So I'm literally so stoked about this. So comment, please. Anyways, so here's our story. You guys ready? Also, welcome to Christmas. Or if you've, oh, these guys are crazy. If you have been already decorated for like Halloween, you've already in the middle of Christmas, but like welcome to my Christmas. I just decorated. This real hair crime came to me again because it sort of involved me. My coworker and I one night were alone together. I was finishing up a client. She was waiting on a new client coming in. And she said, hey, girl, I have this client coming in and she's got hand-tied hair extensions. I said, oh, that's cool. I said, what are you going to do? Just move them up? She goes, well, I've never met her before, so I'm assuming it's going to be a move up. But she said that she had a little bit of a problem with them. And I was like, oh, did she say what? And she's like, no, not yet. So I was like, ooh, can I hang around to see what's going on? Because I'm nosy like that. And she's like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I kind of hung around, cleaned up or whatever, and the girl comes in and she sits in the chair and my coworker says, okay, well, what is the plan for today? And she said, well, here's my problem is I really want these moved up. But she said, my head is like, I can't even like brush through them because it's so like knotted or tangled or something. I really can't see back there. She said, but there's something happening back there. And of course, you know, my nosy brain just goes, whoop, let's go consult with her. So I kind of hijacked my coworker's consultation just a little bit, sorry. But I said, hey, can I ask some questions? And she's like, yeah, sure. So I asked the client, I was like, so how long ago were these put in? And she said about 7 weeks ago. And I said, okay. I said, well, did you call the girl or, you know, or the stylist that put them in? And she said, well, I did. And I told her that I was having a little bit of issue, you know, getting to my scalp. And I said, okay. And I said, what did she say? And she said, well, I have to shampoo them harder. You have to shampoo them harder? She goes, yeah, she said, scrub really good. And she said, I was really scrubbing as much as I could. She said, I don't think I could scrub any more. And she said, and I don't feel like I could even like detangle these or anything. Sorry, my cat is like moving my camera here. And so she said, so I'm really I'm concerned about my hair because I don't know what's going on. And so, you know, my coworker kind of lifts up the hair and she's like, whoa. And she like shows me and I was like, whoa. So we're whoaing together here. And I said, oh my goodness, like how many rows or how many wefts do you have on this row? She says, I don't know. And I was like, okay. I said, well, this is going to take a minute to kind of detangle. And she said, I figured it might. And I said, okay. And I said, well, I asked my coworker, I said, would you like some help, you know, detangling the hair? And she said, yeah, if you're willing to stay, I would love the help. Y'all, she had 2 rows, just 2, okay? That row in the middle of her head, because a lot of times when you're doing 2 rows, you put one kind of underneath the occipital bone where the head rounds back here to kind of fill in that bottom portion. And then usually there's just something else kind of in the crown of the head to give a little bit more coverage, especially for the front areas. That bottom row, that middle, like that underneath row right here, that girl had like 5 wefts on that row. No wonder she couldn't reach her scalp. I mean, it was too bulky. So here's the thing with hand-tied hair is the hand-tied hair is a very thin band. There's really, like, I hate to say there's not much to it, but there's really not much to it. It's very thin. So it's super flexible and it's really great. This girl had 5 of these on one row of hair, and then she had, I think, 5 or 4 on the top row. And it was just a lot of hair. It took my coworker and I about 2 hours to detangle that, that bottom row right here. And we were using, tail combs and everything, trying to pick through it without hurting her. And bless that girl, like, she was like a champ. She just sat there and was like, it hurts a little bit, but I'm just going to muscle through it. But it took the both of us 2 hours to remove one row. And then it took a whole another hour to do the top row. Thankfully, it wasn't quite as bad, but it was pretty rough. So what is the real hair crime in all of this? The real hair crime is having too much hair on one row and having a stylist that would just kind of throw out this answer of shampoo it harder. So kind of a double whammy on this, because the true problem started with too much hair on that row, okay? So I want to show you this again, this little band of hair. I'm going to get real nice and close so we can talk about what hand-tied hair really is. So again, it's a very, very thin piece of hair, very thin band. It usually has some strings on the end of it. The reason it has these strings is because it's kind of tying off this banded area on which the hairs are tied to. So that's where it comes from, hand-tied hair. These hairs are literally tied onto this band, okay? So it's very, very thin, very, very flexible, and great for a lot of people, especially the people that have like finer hair that can't support a lot of bulk of hair. This is so great for it. Now, you can stack these wefts, okay? Our recommendation, however, is stacking no more than 3 wefts per row, okay? So when we lay our track of beads, there should be no more than 3 of these wefts on that track of beads, okay? Now, you can do as many as 3, even 4 rows if the head allows for it. That's completely fine. But really, the more that you stack these wefts, and remember, this client had like 5 on one row, it's very, very hard to actually brush and get in there and detangle. Now, remember, when you're brushing the hair, you want to brush effectively, meaning your scalp also should be brushed, okay? So everything from the roots to the ends should be brushable. So if you have a whole like wad of hair on that row of beads, you're not really getting in there and brushing effectively. So the real hair crime started with too many wefts of hair on one row. The second part of that hair crime was the fact that the stylist kind of just gave this answer of, well, you should shampoo harder. What happens when you shampoo even harder is you're actually tangling up even more of those natural hairs inside of that application, because you're not being able to brush it correctly. So then all of those extra hairs are getting pushed up into that tangle and mat. Tangling and matting, they need friends. Okay? So they're going to grab anybody and everybody around them that they can and invite them to their party. Okay, we want to avoid the party. So we want to be making sure that we brush really, really well. The other thing, like I talked about, is brushing effectively. When you're taking your brush and kind of like just like yanking over these hand-tied pieces of hair, what happens is all of these little baby hairs get roughed up, and then they start sticking out and causing a lot more tangling and looping on the top of this extension. So not only are you getting tangles underneath the hair, you're getting tangles on top of the actual extension weft, and it's causing all of these little loops and things to happen. So that's causing even more tangling and matting. So be careful when you're brushing. I like to angle my brush and kind of come down, holding the weft at the scalp. So put my hand across the weft and just angle that brush down and kind of loosely and gently brush through until you can brush through all of those tangles all the way to the scalp, root to end. Okay? Brush, brush, brush. Stylists, no more than 3 hand-tied pieces of hair to one row. Okay? It's easy peasy, crime solved. Now, if you are a stylist and you need more tips and tricks just like this one, please head over to babehairextensions.com and check out our Solutions Academy, Babe You. If you're a client who just enjoys these videos, thank you so much for being here, and we love having you on board for all these real hair crimes. And I hope this does help you as well if you wanted to get extensions or are having issues maintaining or whatever the case may be. For more laughs and learns, check out our Instagram and our TikTok. We are always putting more exciting new content on there for you. You may see my face again. So check those out as well. What crimes will we come up with next? You'll have to wait and see. Until next time, crime solvers.